I literally bought my dream car at 30 years old, and that's all because of YouTube. All right, so I used to be homeless, believe it or not. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how I would do it if I would start from scratch. I try to cover pretty much every single detail, and you just have to watch the video and actually take some action and do the stuff that I'm telling you to do. All right, so if you're interested in that, watch this video. If you want to make money online, watch this video. It's gonna change your fucking life forever. Okay, so alright, so in this video we'll cover a couple of things. The first thing is creating an offer, which is the thing that you'll actually sell to your audience. Then how to get test clients so we can validate that the thing that you want to sell is actually needed and wanted by your audience. Then we'll cover how to create an alpha version of your program that you can sell to your audience right away without, tweaking things for months and months just to realize that nobody wants to buy the thing that you have been creating. Then how to create sales and marketing systems that you can use in your business to generate profit and revenue. And then how to scale this operation from $10,000 per month all the way to $50,000, $100,000 per month, depending how big you want to grow. Okay, so let's talk about the thing that we are going to sell. So what I'm going to recommend you to do is, if you do not have 1 million or 2 million subscribers on YouTube or on Instagram or on TikTok, is to sell a high ticket coaching program. So there are multiple schools of thought out there, and some people say that you should create a school community and sell it for $47 a month. Some people say that you should sell a low ticket course. Some people say that you should get a bunch of affiliate deals or sell your time one-on-one. While all this can work, they will never be as profitable as selling a high-ticket coaching program. And you don't need to be looking too far to find out that all the gurus out there have a program that costs anywhere between $3,000 to $15,000. I know people who charge $15,000 per month, and they will help you with your marketing or with whatever in your business. So if you look at the big boys, they are all selling some sort of high ticket coaching program, and they are using maybe a low ticket course or a cheap community to get people into their funnels. Okay, that's how it works. But if you want to do what they do, not what they say or what they are selling to you, you'll go straight away and create a high ticket coaching program. So I'm gonna give you a couple of reasons why this is actually the best way to go about making money online. And the first one is the actual profit that you will be having. So you'll be charging anywhere between $1,000 to $10,000 per client in a B2C niche, meaning selling to consumers, and you will be keeping 80% of that revenue. Okay, the 20% is going to go towards a closer or different fees that you have for your payment processors or for your systems that you're building inside the business for different employees and whatnot. But you will be keeping 80% of that revenue. 80% of that is going to be your profit, which is unheard of in any other type of business. If you sell a 5K package, then you have to sell one person. To get 5K from a low ticket course, you'll have to sell 100 courses, and it's quite difficult to find 100 people that will buy your stuff. But to find one person that is gonna pay you $5,000 is way easier. Even if it doesn't make sense rationally, in practice, it's actually easier to sell someone a $5,000 package than to sell 50 people like a $100 course. That's how it works in the real world. I've tried all the models that are out there. Another reason why you should get into this is because it's extremely fun. I'm having the time of my life when I'm actually coaching, when I'm speaking with people, and I don't have to sell my time, right? Basically, I have a couple of meetings per week where I walk all these people through a system, a process that I have created in the past. It's been pre-recorded, done once, and I forgot about it. And they just go through that system all the time.
I could even outsource this and hire someone that can do this job for me, but I enjoy coaching so much that I prefer to do it by myself. So these are the reasons why you should go the high ticket way. In my opinion, it's the best business model for any beginner, any person that is trying to make money online, especially if you have a skill and especially if you already have a following, okay? So let's get into the first step, which is creating an offer. So an offer is like the engine of a car. So you can have the most luxurious car, the best leather, the best steering wheel, the best wheels. Car can look amazing, but if the car doesn't have an engine, that car is absolutely worthless. So in order for you to make a business that is profitable, you have to have the right offer, okay? So how do you create an offer that is actually gonna sell, it's gonna make you a lot of money? Well, there are 4 things that you need to consider. The first one is highlighting the benefits over the features of the program that you will be creating. So let's go over what the benefit is and what the feature is, because it's very important for you to understand this. So let's say you are a fitness coach. This example is the easiest one to highlight how this would work. If you're a fitness coach, you will typically help your clients in a couple of ways, right? So you'll probably create a custom meal plan, a custom workout plan. You'll probably help them, with support, with their mindset, because they want to eat pizzas and whatnot. So you have to be there to tell them that eating pizzas is not great for them, etc., etc. These are features, okay? But the benefit of working with someone like you, a fitness coach in this example, is that they will be able to look great on the beach. Okay, there are 3 months till summer, and finally you can take your shirt off and feel proud of yourself. You don't have to feel embarrassed because you are fat, because you are a slob. You won't feel like that anymore. That is a benefit, okay? So what we want to do is we want to create an offer where we highlight this benefit. So a great offer would be, I help you look good naked. I've heard this like a few years ago, and this really summarizes what a great offer is. You just hear that and everything clicks. Another type of offer could be, for example, I help you get a girlfriend in 8 weeks. It's like clear, to the point, I understand, okay? So because you're not working with me one-on-one, you have to think about, okay, what does my target audience want? And how can I verbalize that so that when they hear it, they'll be like, oh, this is for me, or this is me, or I want this right now. Okay, so this is the first step, understanding that you need to highlight in your offer the benefit of them purchasing this vehicle from you that will take them to the destination that they want to go to, okay? Then we have pricing. And based on where you are in your business journey, you have a couple of options. If you're a complete noob, and if you have no following, nobody knows who you are, you have no social proof whatsoever, well, in the beginning, the pricing is gonna be 0, okay? If you have a following, if you have subscribers on YouTube, if you have a reputation somehow because people saw your transformation and they understand your story and they can relate to you, you can start charging money in the beginning. Okay, we'll talk about that, how to get test clients section of the video. But essentially, what we aim to do is to be able to charge anywhere between $3,000 to $10,000 per client. In my other business, I charge $6,200 for a 9-month program. And the transformation that I give is I help people get a job in tech that pays them anywhere between $90,000 per year to $120,000 per year. So this is what I offer, and this is the pricing. And the way I want you to think about pricing is that you need to feel comfortable with asking the price that you have set for your program. So a lot of people suggested to me to charge more. I should charge $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 for my program. But I do not feel comfortable asking someone to pay me $10,000 because not because I don't feel like what I'm gonna offer to them is not worth that, because my program is way better than what my competitors are charging, and my competitors are charging $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. But I just feel like $6,200, it's a fair price for the amount of work that I do, which is not much, 5 hours a week. And I also want to make sure that my clients are not gonna put themselves in a financial situation where they, they might lose their house or their car or something like that. I'm not that type of guy. If you feel comfortable with charging $10,000 per month because your target audience might be different than mine, then go ahead and do it. That's how I would suggest you to tweak your price. Whenever you feel comfortable, you can go from $1,000 to $2,000. Whenever you feel like, okay, I can own this price, then you can go to $3,000. See how you feel, see if people are still buying at that price. If they're not buying, then you might need to tweak the offer, or you might need to get better sales or at marketing, etc., etc. But essentially, whenever you feel like you've added more value into your program, and then whenever you have more testimonials and proof that whatever you are selling actually works, increase the price bit by bit. That is a healthy way of doing this. This is a very straightforward approach, and it's gonna make you feel good, okay? So do not feel like if you do not charge someone $10,000, you are a loser. No, you just go step by step by step by step. And whenever you feel like it, just charge more. That's how I would summarize this whole thing. Then the next thing is the guarantee. So if you are starting out, and it doesn't matter if you have 100,000 subscribers or 0 subscribers, in my opinion, you should add a guarantee, okay? Some sort of, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna give you your money back. Now, if you add this guarantee, a couple of things will happen. So the first thing is that you'll actually get more clients. You'll be making way more sales because you are decreasing the risk. So if your offer is good, and if your, if the benefit that you've created for that offer is the perceived value is high, and then you reduce the risk by adding some sort of money back guarantee, then you'll be selling more of your stuff. It's simple, right? If they don't like it, if they don't get the results, you're gonna give them their money back, okay? Especially if you have testimonials, the likelihood of them having success is way higher. The perceived value of your program or your product is way higher, and you reduce the risk by adding a guarantee. Now, you might be thinking, wait, but what if people will actually ask for a refund? What do you do then? Because I don't want to end up bankrupt. From my experience, after being in this game for 6 years, and I've been selling this coaching program for 6 years, I've sold, I think, probably 400 people so far. Maybe just 2 or 3 asked for a refund, and they were actually right to ask for their refund. But with the rest, what I did is I made them sign a contract where in that contract is stipulated that in order for them to qualify for the refund, they have to do certain tasks. So for example, if you're a fitness coach, in order for someone to qualify for the refund, so let's say you're a fitness coach. In order for someone to qualify for the refund, they need to send you every single day a picture of their breakfast, of their lunch and dinner. They need to do 15,000 steps. They need to go per day. They need to go to the gym 5 times a week, and they need to stay within the calorie target that you've recommended to them. And they need to eat, and they need to sleep 8 hours a day, and they need to drink 2 liters of water. And they need to show you proof that they've actually done that. If they've done that, they will actually be successful, okay? Because those KPIs, those key performance indicators, are set up so they can actually be successful. So if they do those things, they will not want the guarantee, okay? But if they don't do those things, you'll try to have a conversation with them and say stuff like, hey, maybe you have to try again instead of giving up, etc., etc. You try to help them understand that their mindset is not right, etc., etc. But then if they push back, you just send them a copy of the contract, the PDF, and say, hey, this is the thing that you signed, okay? And these are the things that you agreed to. So in order for you to qualify for the refund, you have to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. And then they realize that they messed up, and it's not your fault, it's actually their fault. So you have to flip it on them. All right, so I hope that makes sense. This is what works, and this is what worked from my experience. And I think it's a win-win. The client has to do the work, and you also have to be there for the client to deliver the work that you said you're gonna deliver, okay? Or the program that you've created has to deliver, but it's not only on you. The client has also some work to do, obviously, okay? So the last thing that you need to keep in mind when it comes to building an offer is to make it somehow unique. So what do I mean by making it unique? Now, again, if we are sticking to the fitness coach example, there is only one way to lose weight, okay? Eat less calories, consume less calories than your body is actually using. That's how you do it. There is no way to go about it. You can use different methods. You can be vegan, you can be keto, you can be doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. Intermittent fasting, it doesn't even matter. But at the end of the day, you have to eat less calories than your body uses. So the way you can make this unique is by being yourself, okay? By being the louder version of yourself. What made me stand out in my niche was the fact that I was the only person that was swearing. So I was saying fuck, shit, I was letting myself go. Now I evolved a little bit more, but that's what made me stand out across my competitors. That's how I used to be. That's how I speak to my friends. Another thing that made me stand out was the fact that I was making fun of people that were trying to become developers. I was roasting them, where every other influencer was cuddling these people and then they were, trying to make them feel good about themselves. I wasn't that person. I was the Eastern European dude who doesn't give a shit and makes fun of people if they are stupid. That's how I used to be. I still am like that, but that made me stand out, okay? So find your voice and make your offer sound like you have created. I know it's a bit wishy-washy. It sounds a bit like it doesn't make sense or there should be something more to it, but it's not. It's just that. You'll have to create this offer that is unique to you, unique to your style, and people will like it for you because you are the personal brand, and then they will buy it for you because they want to get the insights or they want to get your experience, and they will like you for who you are, okay? Now I'm going to answer a couple of frequently asked questions. The first one is, how do you pick a niche or a topic that you want to coach in? Because many people have multiple interests. Maybe you want to get jacked but also want to help people with their dating lives. Well, in my opinion, you should focus on only one thing. So choose the thing that you'd like to talk about the most, the thing that you would speak about forever for the next year, okay? And choose that. Why? Because creating one business, one product, having one team that can help you, in this business is way easier than having two products or two teams. Everything is gonna grow exponentially. And the more you can stay with one thing, one offer, one product, one team, one price, the more you can stick with the rule of one, the easier it's gonna be for you. So choose the thing that you really like the most, the thing that you actually enjoy doing. Then the second question is, how do you figure out the price without scaring people away? Well, this is how I would do it if I would be you. I would pitch my program to 30 people. Then I would see the conversion rate from that. So if 20% of those people say yes to the $1,000 price, what I would try to do first is I would try to get that conversion rate from 20% to 30% or maybe 40%. If I can do that by tweaking my offer, by getting better at sales, then if I increase that percentage, then I can charge more. So I can go from $1,000 per client to $2,000 per client. Then I would look at that conversion rate. If that conversion rate stays at 40% after presenting my offer to 30 more people, then I would increase it again, okay? I would increase that price until my conversion rate goes to 20%, okay? It's as simple as that. If you cannot sell your offer to anyone, that can mean two things. The first thing can be the fact that you don't know how to create an offer. You've created something that people don't want to buy, and that's totally fine. You need to understand why people don't want to buy. Maybe you are talking to broke people, maybe highlighting something that these people don't want to buy in the first place, okay? Or it can be the fact that you have a great offer, but you don't know how to sell. And again, we'll talk about this maybe in another video, because that is an in-depth discussion that we need to have, and it's not going to be so easy to understand from the get-go, if that makes sense. I don't want to spend 5 minutes on sales, because sales is a very important part of this process, okay? All right, so the next step is to actually get some test clients. The reason why we need to get some test clients is because we need to validate the offer that you just created. So the way you have to look at this is like your offer is a stimulus, like for example, the light. So when you go into a very light room, probably your eyes will be like trying to shut down because there is too much stimulus, right? So we want to see if the offer that you've created, this stimulus, is going to make your target audience react in a positive way. So we are trying to pretty much validate the fact that the hypothesis that you came up with, which is the offer, the pricing, the guarantee, the end goal, the transformation, is actually something that your target audience wants. And we'll use test clients to validate that our hypothesis was correct, okay? So there are two types of people that might watch this video. The first type of person is the one that doesn't have any type of audience, any type of brand. He's a nobody, right? And then the second type is the person who has an audience. Maybe you have 10,000 subscribers on YouTube or 10,000 followers on Instagram and whatnot. Maybe you are somewhat popular, right? If that's the case, there are two types of advice that I have to give to each one of you. So I'm gonna start with the person that doesn't have any brand, any following, and is a complete nobody, which is, hey, I was a complete nobody. Everyone was a nobody at some point, okay? So don't worry about it. There's just a different strategy. There's a different way to go about it, okay? So if you're a nobody, the first thing that I would do is I would choose a social media platform that you like using that is not YouTube, okay? So for example, IG, LinkedIn, or Twitter, or X, however it's called right now. And I would build a following there, okay? Because and this is something that the gurus don't want to tell you, right? YouTube is gonna take some time till it's gonna make you money, okay? So you don't need a lot of views, but you need some views. And to get those few views, you need some time in the game. You need to produce videos for a certain period of time, and you don't know exactly when your videos will pop, okay? It might take you a month, it might take you 6 months, it might take you 12 months. So you need to figure out a way to make money in the meantime while you're waiting for the algorithm to give you clients, okay? So we will choose one of these three platforms, IG, Twitter, or LinkedIn, because we can actually DM people over there, okay? So before you start DMing people, you need to post some content. So my recommendation for you is to find 10 to 100 influencers that are in your niche, that are not too big. So let's say they are 10,000 followers and whatnot. And they are also selling something. They have some sort of funnel in their description. They are telling you to comment something in a post so you can get a free PDF or a free video or something like that. So find 10 to 100 of those influencers and start studying them. Start studying their content, start studying their funnels and whatnot, and see what content they are making, how is it structured, what call to actions they have, what kind of hooks they have, what kind of content buckets they are trying to fill in. Because you'll probably notice that there are some influencers who are giving away a lot of tips. Some of them, they are talking about mindset. Some of them are talking about masculinity and how working out is going to make you better father or whatever. So there are all these buckets that you can fill in with content. So I would just collect content, and then once you have enough content and inspiration, I would try to make my own. So aim to post, I don't know, maybe 9 to 12 pieces of content on each platform. And then once that is done, and once you make sure that your content actually looks decent, okay, so your pictures should look good, or your reels should look good, or the text that you're writing should evoke some sort of emotion. Again, this is copywriting. This is another video for another time, but you can use probably ChatGPT, even though I don't recommend it, because you need to learn how to trigger emotions and whatnot by yourself, not by using an AI bot, okay? At least not in the beginning. So I'll start posting some content, because if you do not have good looking content, or if you do not have any content at all, if you do not have a profile picture, you'll have to start DMing people, and then people will think that you are an Indian scammer, okay? And because you look like an Indian scammer, you'll get 0 results, and then you'll give up. So again, I cannot help you because you're not a client of mine, but you need to look at what others are doing and try to make your content as good looking as the other guys, okay? Or better if you can, if you have the capability, if you are good at taking photos and whatnot. I don't want to be that type of person that tells you, you can just shoot a video with an iPhone 7 and then you'll be making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sure, bro, yeah. It's not gonna work like that. You need to have some sort of quality in your videos. You need to invest some money into this stuff. Of course, you don't need to go overboard, but like you need to have latest iPhone, for example, or you need to have like a good microphone that can record your voice without sounding muddy and whatnot, okay? So you need to take care of these things. Again, probably I'll make a video about this later, but don't overthink it, but don't underplay it either, okay? So you'll have to find people in your network, okay? People that are following other influencers, and you have to message 10 people a day, ideally more if you can, if you're not getting blocked. And then you have to pitch them to become one of your test clients in exchange for a testimonial and 2 referrals at the end. So if you do not have a brand, if nobody knows you, you have to do work for free, okay? Now, if you have a brand and if you are somebody already and people follow you for your tips, for your insights, for your advice, then for you it's way easier. All you have to do is say, hey, send me a DM with this word because I'm taking test clients, because I'm creating this offer that is designed to help X target audience to get X results. So for example, hey, if you are in your, so for example, hey, so for example, hey, if you're a man in your 30s and want to get shredded by summer, DM me the word coach because I have a sick offer. That's it. That's it. You already have authority. People already know you. People already follow you. You'll be getting a lot of requests. So now you'll have to send them through the sales process that we'll discuss about later, and sell them. Okay, it's as simple as that. Because you have some authority, you have a brand, you have a personality already, you can already start charging anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 depending on your clientele and your expertise and whatnot. Maybe you have testimonials from the past, or maybe you have, maybe you sold a cheap course in the past and you have testimonials from there, so you can create a sales page and whatnot. So then you can charge more money, okay? Depending on however you feel about it, that's kind of how this works, okay? So the goal of this is to get in test clients so you can build the version alpha of your program, which is going to be very different than, for example, a course, okay? Because if you sold a course in the past, you would think that, hey, a coaching program is just a course. No, it's not. So a coaching program is designed to take someone from A to B. A course is designed to solve a specific problem for a person, okay? So a coaching program has multiple parts to it, okay? So there is the aspect of the information where you have multiple courses, and then each course has modules or categories and whatnot. Then you have the community aspect of it. Again, we'll talk about this in a bit. And then you have the actual coaching, which happens in Q&A calls, okay? And then you have the support in the community and whatnot. So it's a bit more dense, way more dense than just a course, okay? Where person who bought the course has all the responsibility on them, without any support from you. It's a bit different. So you need these test clients to be able to develop the exact pillars of your coaching program. So then you can get testimonials from these people. So then you can increase your prices. So then you can get more authority. So then you can be louder in your marketing. So then you can make more money and get more views. And it's like a spiral, right? Like a positive spiral of cash. Now, I'm also taking test clients, okay? When I started this first business, I didn't start from zero per se, if that makes sense. But I started with some clout in my micro niche in tech. People know me, right? So I have a few clients from the tech niche, and just to illustrate how important this is, one of my clients asked me, hey, how do you get those dope testimonials? Because I do have amazing testimonials in my other business, okay? I know exactly how to direct the person to say the things that I want them to say and to make me sound like I'm an absolute weapon, okay? So when I realized that, I actually wrote in my little script here the fact that I want to talk about how you can get testimonials, right? So as you can see, by having clients where I don't have a program yet structured 100% for each person that comes in, and I do everything on one-on-one basis, I get these kind of questions and insights, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't even think about the fact that people want to know how to get a testimonial. I thought that that's obvious, right? So the way I conduct a testimonial session or a testimonial interview, if you may, is in the following way. Before the recording part, I actually am shitting myself because I am really nervous, okay? It's a bit weird to stay with my student and then do the YouTube intro and stuff like that. It's a bit awkward, if that makes sense. But I tell them I feel like that, and then I tell my student, hey, look, I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions, and I just want you to be 100% honest, and I want you to go in as much detail as possible when I'm gonna ask you whatever I'm gonna ask you, okay? Don't hold anything back, even if it's something that I've done bad that you didn't like, okay? Be 100% honest. Let people know about how you felt going through this process with me, okay? So I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions. Tell me how it used to be before you joined the program, what you were doing, what made you decide to join the program, how was it during the program, and what did you get out of this program? And would you recommend this program to someone else? These are the 5 things that I'm asking. And then I run the interview like a podcast. So I do not have a time limit like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. I have interviews that go for an hour. Okay, that's what people like. People like to watch those videos because they understand that they are genuine. They're not just a little screenshot or whatever. And another thing that I do before any interview is I tell them like, look, and I tell them that, look, I don't want you to make me look like a fake guru. All these people out there, they see a YouTuber that sells something and they think they're, they think that I'm a fake guru. Just tell people through what I'm gonna ask you that I'm not a fake guru, okay? And that's it. That's how I deal with testimonials. It's very simple, but it's very genuine, very direct, and very open. And people are actually excited to give me a testimonial because think about it. Let's say you are going to help someone lose 40 kilos and now they went from obese to fit. Well, that person literally owes you their life, okay? You changed their life. If you work with me and let's say you are a YouTuber and you have 10,000 subscribers, or let's say 20,000 subscribers, I know I can make you $600,000 in like 6 months because I can convert 1% of your audience with a few systems here and there. And now you're making $5,000 a month, if that. Probably you'll make less with 20,000 subscribers. Well, it's a huge difference. It's like 30x, right? Maybe not 30x, but you get my point, right? So these people actually owe you that testimonial and they'll be more than happy to give you a testimonial. If you design your coaching program right, in the way that I'm gonna tell you in this video, then people will binge your testimonials and will fight over getting into your program because they want to be the next success story. That's how well it works. All right, so let's go to the next chapter. All right, now that you have an offer and hopefully you got a couple of test clients, ideally 5 to 10, if I'm being honest, that's a big enough sample size so you can test different things on these test subjects, if you may. It's time to create the version alpha of your program. So in my opinion, there will be 3 versions of your program that you'll be creating in your career, okay? There will be the alpha version where you test a few hypotheses, you create a few pieces of content or resources and whatnot. Then you'll have the version beta, which is gonna run for maybe a year or so, where you try to fill in the gaps that you've created with version alpha. And then you have the final version, which is gonna be an ongoing project where you will keep adding different modules, you'll be creating different mini courses inside and whatnot, and that is gonna be your baby, that is gonna be the work of your life. Hopefully you'll be in this game for 5 to 10 years and you'll be creating this awesome machine that takes people in, gives them results, and then you will be making money, okay? So let's talk about the version alpha, because this is gonna determine the rest of your career as a person who sells a high-ticket coaching program, okay? So again, depending on the type of coaching you are doing, right? This version alpha is gonna be very different. So for example, if you do career coaching like me, your version alpha is going to be very different than someone who is doing fitness, for example, right? But I'm going to give you a couple of guidelines that will help you create this version alpha. And ideally, once you're done with this version alpha, you'll have anywhere between 5 to 10 testimonials that you can use in your marketing, so you can get new clients for the beta version of your program, which is gonna be way more expensive, okay? So let's get into it. The first step is to onboard 5 to 10 clients that you can test this on, okay? You cannot skip this. The worst thing that you can do is to start building your program based on your intuition. And I know you are pretty smart, I'm not gonna deny that, but you cannot build a program if you do not have enough people to test it on, because in your mind, as I talked about in the previous part of this video, you think that, for example, like in my case, people know how to make testimonials, and you would not include that in your program, okay? Or I would not include it. But there are so many things that people, that experts in general, assume or take for granted. So do not take anything for granted. You need 5 to 10 test clients that you can work with to understand their needs. Okay, so the way I would recommend you to run this first alpha version of your program is with a start date. So for example, you get 10 people in and then you say, okay, we will start on the 10th of April. Okay, and by that time they are getting hyped up, they are getting ready, they are arranging their lives, you know, to be able to do your program and whatnot. And then you'll have a first meeting with them. And in this first meeting, or before this first meeting, you will come up with the plan for the next 2 weeks, like how things should look like. Maybe you create a mini course or create a couple of resources, a PDF or an Excel spreadsheet that calculates their macros, or you create like a recipe book, etc., etc. It doesn't have to be complicated or out of this world. You don't have to put that much effort into it, okay? So then you will present these resources in this first meeting, and then these people will have questions. Okay, or they'll have concerns. So then what you do for the next time you meet with them, you try to overcome all their problems, or you try to make mini videos, I guess, that will answer their questions and whatnot. And then you start to create this roadmap of, hey, I have a client that is at point A and I want to take this client to point B, and this will be their roadblocks, okay? And then as you have more coaching calls with these people, they will keep asking questions. They will start fucking up things here and there, and then you will try to think, okay, how can I prevent this fuck up from happening again? How can I make them understand that the reason why they do this, or the reason why they have this problem, is because of this thing, okay? So you try to prevent them having problems in the first place, okay? So that's how I would create the main structure of the program. Then the next thing that I would take care of would be a community of some sorts. So if you have 5 to 10 people, a Telegram group or a WhatsApp group should suffice, I guess. You don't need to create a school community if you do not have enough people in, because that school community is going to be pretty much dead. You want a place where these people can talk, interact with each other, because they will start to help each other, okay? So the whole point of this is not for you to do one-on-one work. Maybe in the beginning there will be some one-to-one until you figure out, okay, what kind of content you need to build for your course, what kind of resources you need to build for your course. But if you put them in a community, a WhatsApp group, a Telegram group, I don't know if there are other means of communication, maybe Instagram groups I've seen, but Instagram is a bit of a distraction. So WhatsApp and Telegram, I think they work perfectly for this. You put them in the group and then they will start having questions, and then you start taking notes of those questions, and you start making videos that address those questions. And then in 2-3 months time, you'll pretty much have answered all their questions. And then when you decide, okay, now I have 5 to 10 testimonials, I help these guys achieve this end goal that they actually wanted, I can start selling the beta version of my program at an increased price. Now I have confidence that I can deliver this stuff. I have their questions answered. So if a new person comes in, I can say, okay, watch this video, or download this PDF, or clone this Google Sheet and then make it your own, and then this is how you use it, etc., etc. This is pretty much what you have to do. That's what I've done in my program in 2021. Okay, that was the first version of it, because till then I was doing one-on-one coaching. So I was meeting with people once a week, and then I was helping them solve their problems, and then I was doing audio notes on WhatsApp, etc., etc. And that was part of the game until I was able to figure out how to create a course, because it's not easy. You cannot use ChatGPT to create a course, okay? Because people want your insights and your perspective and your experience. You know, that's why they are paying you, okay? Now, you should also run multiple Q&A calls per week. So the difference between a course and a coaching program is their access to you. So in my opinion, you should run at least one coaching call per week. Now, if you have a bunch of people in, then you can run 2 coaching calls per week. Or if you notice that they need more support, run 3, 4, 5. I run 5 coaching calls per week in my coaching program, okay? Now, there can be different topics for these coaching calls. So if we keep the personal trainer or fitness coach example, you could have a coaching call where you discuss mindset only, you know, how to think about losing weight, how to overcome your cravings at night. You can have a different call on training where you discuss proper form. Your clients can record their workouts, and then you can critique their technique and whatnot. Then you can have another call on nutrition where you make custom meal plans for each one of them, and you know, they can ask you questions about which foods to eat, if they want to be more filled up, I guess. Maybe they need more volume because they are always hungry at night. Maybe you can tell them how their hormones work, etc., etc. You can have a class on hormones, etc., etc. You can ask them to take their blood test, and then you can critique the blood test and tell them to get different supplements to fix certain things that are making them maybe sleepy or drowsy throughout the day, etc., etc. So only from working with these people, you will figure out what kind of coaching calls they need, what kind of content they need. So do not be scared of the fact that you are not perfect. It's impossible to be perfect. All you can do is try to make your program a little bit better day by day, week by week, month by month. And most of the work is going to be done in the first three months or so, where you have to build the bulk of your program. After that, there will be just fill in the gaps kind of things, and your coaching program is going to be pretty much automated. Later down the line, what will happen is that you will have certain students that are more active than others. Probably you noticed this in school as well. There were people who were more active than others, and this is going to happen in your coaching program as well. And then when you see that someone is super active, they are helping every other person to reach their goals, they also reach their goals as well, and they are your biggest fan as well, then you can promote that person to be one of your coaches, okay? So imagine this, you're making 50K a month, you are helping a bunch of people, and then you have 3 guys that are always showing up. You can make one of them one of your coaches, so he can run 1 or 2 of your coaching calls. Maybe you can add extra coaching calls where these guys are talking with the other clients and whatnot. Then you can pay another guy or 2 to be the manager in the WhatsApp group, so they can, you know, audio note the other dudes that are struggling with their workouts, etc., etc. So you can promote from inside, and in my opinion, this is the best way to hire people from within your program. Usually you should hire your own clients, especially those who are successful. So the goal of this alpha version of your program is to run it for 2 to 3 months, get as much feedback as possible, get as many testimonials as possible, to then go and scale it up to version beta. So the goal is to work on this version alpha of your program for the next 2 to 3 months, so you can prove your program, so you can create your program as well, so you can collect as many testimonials, so then you can scale it to the version beta of your program. All right, now let's look at how we can create a system that will make you money. As you can see here in this beautiful diagram that I've created for you, we have traffic sources. So we have YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. It doesn't even matter. Like they are almost the same. I would say YouTube is the best one because it has the highest quality traffic, because you can post long form content where your audience can actually see you. They can see you speaking about a specific topic in a longer format, so they can get to know you a little bit more and trust you a little bit more. So I would say YouTube is the best. Then we have Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Okay, so if I show you this on my YouTube channel, how this would work is I have a lot of videos where I talk about a topic related to the thing that I'm gonna sell. In this case, coding. I have 24,000 subscribers. Okay, and then in every single video I pitch my help. So I say something like, hey, if you want to learn this thing, click on the first link in the description. And I have this link pretty much everywhere. And one neat trick that I'm doing is that I'm using Bitly, okay? And Bitly is set up so I know from which video I'm making the most amount of money. So I have my title in my Bitly, and then I have the date of posting, okay, and then I have the source, okay. So I know that if someone is booking a call with me or something, they came from this specific video, or they came from LinkedIn, or they came from Instagram, or whatever, okay. So they know where they are coming from. So I know where they are coming from, because based on this type of feedback, I can make more videos that bring me more money, okay? It's very simple. I'm not gonna click on this because I'm gonna mess up my data, okay? But all these people will go through a funnel, and the funnel is simply a website that has 3 steps usually. Mine is super simple. I'm trying to keep everything as simple as possible, okay? So this is the main page, okay? And as you can see, this is called the sales page here, where I show testimonials, I talk about myself, I talk about their problems, and then if these people feel like I can help them, then they will go to the next step, which is the booking step, okay? So in my case, I have one extra step which doesn't matter for you. And then they have this booking step where they can choose a time to speak either with me or my closer. I haven't done any of these sales calls in like 2 years or 3 years or something like that. So I have outsourced this to someone else, because honestly, there are people who are doing this better than me, but when you're starting out, you have to do it yourself, so you understand, like, you know, what these people are needing, what they're looking for, etc., etc. You can understand their pain points, and then you can create better content, okay? And then after they book, they get redirected to a thank you page that says everything went smooth, okay? So this is how my page looks like. Very simple. I tell them to check their email because they have an invite there, and then I show them a little bit of like behind the scenes how this program works and whatnot. You don't even need to worry about this if you're just starting out. I literally just added this like 4 years into this business, okay? And I've been doing this for 6 years. And then I have some testimonials. Again, the same testimonials I used on the main page. Most people don't even check the testimonials. That's actually insane if you think about it. Yeah, after they book, they will end up on a sales call. So if you're a beginner, that's everything that you need to know. So they see your video on YouTube, then they go on your website, then from your website they book a call, then you'll show up to that call, and then you'll run this meeting with them. So I don't want to get too in depth with this, but this is the script that I have been using, and my team has been using for the past 5 years or so, maybe 4 years. And it's very conversational. You just ask them about where they are in life. Then you ask them, hey, if you continue doing this, where do you think you'll end up? And then, do you want to get somewhere? How does that place look like? And do you want to make a change right now? That's pretty much what we are asking. So for example, if you are selling fitness, so what are you doing right now to stay in shape? Oh, you're going to the gym for 1 week? Okay. And do you like the progress you've been making for the past week or so? Oh no, I'm struggling with this and this and this. Okay. And for how long have you been struggling with this problem where you are overweight? Well, for the past 15 years. 15 years? Oh, okay, gotcha. And like, how has that impacted your life? Well, my wife doesn't want to have sex with me. I cannot play with my kids because I'm running out of breath. and I think I'm gonna get diabetes. Oh, okay, so, all right. And how does the best scenario look like? Well, my wife is attracted to me, she's gonna have sex with me again, etc., etc. Okay. And then you ask, are you willing to commit for a life where you're gonna get diabetes and you cannot play with your kids and your wife doesn't want to have sex with you? No. Okay, cool. So this is how it works. You're gonna get this, etc., etc. Again, I'm not gonna get into this because it's gonna be a long ass video and it's already too long. Essentially, what you need is a source of traffic, which is YouTube or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter. You send all these people to a funnel. From this funnel, they will book a call with you. And then in this call, you'll actually ask them some questions and figure out if you can help them. It's as simple as that. And obviously, the more you are in this business, the more you understand. And then I have automations, etc., that are not really relevant for you at this moment. But we send them email reminders, text reminders. We call them on WhatsApp, messaging them on WhatsApp to make sure that these people are showing up, okay? And we also do follow-ups with them. If they couldn't afford our services, we follow up for like sometimes for 1 or 2 years, you know, and that's what the best salespeople are actually doing. They are following up with their old leads, and then you'd be surprised how many people are buying just because we followed up with them. Okay, so this is the tech setup. All right, I have used my personal website hosting service, but if you are not using your website hosting service because you don't know how to code like me, then you can use ClickFunnels or Go High Level. They are good alternatives. For the booking, you need Calendly. It's like $10 a month or something like that. You can even start for free. Then you need Zoom, and again, I think it's free for 40 minutes, but you can pay $20 per month to have unlimited amount of time that you can spend with these prospects. So all in all, I think it's gonna cost you what? $130 per month to run this whole funnel, right? My entire operation from like the software payments that I have to make every month, I think it's around $500, $400 a month. So it's almost nothing. What I pay is 15% to my salesperson. Again, so if my salesperson is not making sales, I'm not gonna pay my salesperson. But if they are making sales, I'm gonna pay them. This is a massive advantage in my favor because I'm saving a lot of time, and all I want is to protect my time so I can do shit that I like going to the gym, driving around, traveling, doing all this fun stuff, and I can only focus on creating content or helping my clients inside the program, okay? That's where my time should be going. The next step is scaling. So once you get to $50,000 a month, I would say, it's time to start investing into ads. When it comes to ads, what you need to understand is that you lose a lot of money in the process. So if you do not have, I would say, anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000 to drop on ads to figure out how it works, because you need to test a lot of things, then don't do it. But if you are at that point where you're making $50,000 a month with your business, then it's time to go all in. My biggest regret is that I didn't do it. I was scared. I was a little bitch, all right? And I could have made way more money if I would have done it earlier. But if I would be you, the moment when you start making money, the moment when you save a lot of money and you have a lot of savings that you are sitting on, it's time to go all in on ads, because creating content is fine and dandy until YouTube decides to fuck with you, and then, or Instagram, and then your content is not getting blasted anymore to others, and then you are screwed. So that's what happened to me in 2023. YouTube decided to not help me anymore to push my content, and I started going down. Luckily, I have found other solutions, but I haven't managed to crack ads yet. For this new business that I'm creating right now, I will definitely run ads whenever I reach $50,000 a month, because literally, if you have an offer that is converting people, and if you make a good product and you have 10 to 15 happy clients, then you're ready to start scaling and you'll be making a shit ton of money. It's as simple as that. Not easy, right? Not easy. I don't want to be that guy that says, oh, you just press a button and you just spend $1 a day and you're gonna make $100 million. It's not like that, okay? So you still need to be intelligent, and you need to be able to have some balls, because you'll be spending money to build this machine that's gonna print you cash. And then in theory, everything sounds great and you feel like you can do it, But when you start seeing that, all right, I spent $10,000 and I only made $1,000 back, you're gonna shit your pants and you're gonna stop everything before the machine is completed, and then you will fucking regret it. Okay, so you need to be smart about it, and you need to have a lot of money to invest, and you need to have big ass fucking balls to deal with the pressure of losing a lot of money in the beginning. This is what the gurus are not telling you. They will sell you on a $25,000 package. All right, I'm speaking from experience, and you spend all the money on the guru, and then they will tell you, oh, you just test $1,000 a month and then see how it works, and then you scale from there. Sure, buddy, yeah, of course, yeah, that's how it works. It doesn't work like that. Let me fucking tell you that, because the gurus out there will tell you everything you want to hear just so they can get your money. And unfortunately, a lot of people are gullible, and the gurus are making money and you will not. Okay, so hopefully if you follow the advice from this video, you'll be able to start an online coaching business and sell something that people actually want. You'll be making money, you'll be helping a lot of people, you'll have a lot of fun doing so, and then you'll be saving up a lot of cash, you'll be scaling up your business, you'll start hiring different people to do different jobs for you, so you don't have to edit your videos, so you don't have to manage the community, so you don't have to do sales calls, so you don't have to write emails, because there are a lot of jobs in this business. And it's very easy to become overwhelmed if you don't know what you're doing. And it's also very easy to hire too many people, and then suddenly you're making $50,000 a month, but you're only keeping 10,000 because you don't know exactly how to run it properly. A lot of people look at this type of business and they are saying that this is easy money and you just print cash. And it's not exactly like that, because it's a very complex business. Even though it's one of the simplest businesses that you can create and run, it's still a business. It's still gonna take a lot of intelligence from your side to figure out how to manage everything, okay? So that's pretty much what you need to do to start an offer like this and to start making money online. It's gonna take you anywhere between, I don't know, 3 to 6 months until you get it right, especially if you are doing it by yourself. If you want me to help you, there's a link in the description, click it. And this is only for people that are already having at least 10,000 followers, either on Instagram, on LinkedIn, or on YouTube. And if you want to sell something to these people, I can help you implement this whole thing, and you only pay if you make money, okay? So that's pretty much how it works. Let me know what you think in the comments. Peace out.